Something something about this just feels right. It feels like it's 2019 again, and I'm doing this regularly. Got the blazer back, got the snapback back out, and it's time to review a movie. Let's go! Godzilla versus Kong. So Godzilla versus Kong is the heavyweight championship bout of the century. I think it was announced way back before Kong Skull Island even came out back in 2017. And it was teased at the end of that movie. It's like, okay, these two titans are going to do battle. And since then we've had Godzilla King of the Monsters, which, I still enjoy for the most part. But one of the things that these movies get a lot of criticism for is the human characters, because the thing is, nobody, especially Warner Brothers, is going to shell out fucking $500 million for just monsters doing their thing. But that's kind of all we want. But I mean, to be fair, you can't really get a 2-hour movie out of just Kong versus Godzilla because it's just a fight. They can't really last that long. So of course you have to, stuff it with stuff that you don't really care about. But in Kong Skull Island, I thought the human characters were enjoyable enough, but in the Godzilla movies, not so much. I will say, though, I don't really get the whole Millie Bobby Brown thing. I thought she was fine in King of the Monsters. She didn't really get in the way too much. I thought she was a fine addition to the story. This movie, I guess she was contracted to do it. If you take her out of it, nothing changes. And she's also kind of annoying. She's written to be a little bit obnoxious and frustrating in this movie. And her dad, played by Kyle Chandler, I routinely forgot he was in the movie. He also adds nothing to it. Julian Dennison from Deadpool 2 is in it. He's cool. I like him. But most of the humans feel like, well, that group of people, including Brian Tyree Henry, who I also don't really have an opinion about. He voiced Aaron Davis in... No, not Aaron Davis. Jefferson Davis. He voiced Jefferson Davis in Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. But that whole group is meant to be like comic relief or whatever, but it's just like, I don't really need comic relief. What I need is 200-foot tall monsters punching each other. That's what I need. Oh, and punch each other they do. Let me give you the plot of this movie. You can watch it right now on HBO Max for absolutely free. I chose to go watch it in IMAX, which there were a lot of people on my screening, which makes me confident in the future of cinema. I don't think movie theaters are dead like a lot of people seem to think. I think they're just hurting right now, but they'll be okay in the long run. So I'm not going to spoil the movie outright, at least not right now. I might do a separate video where I talk about the final act, because things happen in it. But the basic plot of this movie is, it's been about 50 years since Kong Skull Island and a couple of years since Godzilla King of the Monsters. Kong has been relocated to an enclosure where the Monarch group is keeping tabs on him, if you've seen the previous movies and you know about Monarch. But he's like, I want to get out, and they need to move him somewhere, but they can't do that because Godzilla, the king of the monsters, will come prove his dominance, and Kong, who is king of Skull Island, is going to also want to prove his dominance. So you have to move Kong, but you can't because you'll attract Godzilla. And on the Godzilla side of things, he seems to have gone berserk for no real reason, and humanity wants to come up with some sort of countermeasure or deterrent to Godzilla, and the only way that they can do that is by moving Kong to help get some things in place to do that. So it's an organic enough reason for the conflict to happen. When you find out why Godzilla has gone berserk, it all makes a lot more sense. I'm totally fine with it. I didn't really need there to be some sort of Captain America Civil War, Batman versus Superman level politicians pulling strings and assassination attempts and this is happening there and blowing up government meetings. I didn't care about all that stuff. I just needed my monsters to fight. So I'm fine. I'm satisfied with the reason, actually. It's fine. It's serviceable. The monsters themselves are really good in this movie. Kong has a lot of personality. He's always felt like more of a character to me. Not even just in this current Monsterverse, just in general, especially when it comes to Western Godzilla. For some reason, in the West, Godzilla is just a monster. In Japan, he has a lot of personality. In some version of the story, he even has an agreement with the humans where it's like, hey, call me when you need me. If you call me, beat me if you want to reach me, that sort of thing, you know. But for some reason, over here in America, Godzilla is just big monster. But in the Monsterverse, he's gone back to assuming a kind of like protector of humanity kind of role, which I actually really appreciate. I respect it a lot. It's what I want Godzilla to be. So I don't have too many complaints. I don't have too many complaints about this version of Godzilla. I think he's fine. Kong, though, has always had a lot more personality. I've always felt bad for him in pretty much every movie because, and this also holds true in the Monsterverse, no matter what the situation is in a King Kong movie, he's just minding his own business, and then people show up, and when people show up, bad things happen. If you watch Kong Skull Island, man was just chilling at home, and then here comes the U.S. government blowing shit up, and now he has to defend himself against these giant skull crawlers. If you watch this movie, Kong minding his own business, and then humans are like, well, we want a thing, so we're going to make him do this thing, and now Godzilla's here. And it's just like, can he just chill? Like, it just seems like the odds are so against him when it comes to just wanting to exist, and I've never really understood why, but that's just how they craft that character. And as such, I've always felt more sympathetic towards him. I've always felt more attached to him. And I was rooting for him in this movie. Because the director did say that there was going to be a clear winner. And there is a clear winner. So some of you will be right and some of you will be wrong. That's all I can say about that. It's very gripping, very exciting. It's atmospheric as hell. And one of my favorite things about it is that you actually feel the size and weight of these monsters as they clash into each other. It feels very kinetic. There's like dirt on the camera, which is a super nice touch. It's very immersive. Every angle you're seeing it from feels very real, especially when you're seeing ground level shots. I love all of that stuff. I always love perspective from the ground of these giant creatures. Pacific Rim was really good for that. Pacific Rim Uprising, not so much. But the Monsterverse has been very consistent with that. And in each of the Godzilla movies, they're starting to show Godzilla a little bit more, it feels like, which I'm totally fine with. I love watching King Kong climb buildings and fight Godzilla. And I just, the destruction, it's so tasty. When it comes to superhero movies, right, like Man of Steel, Avengers, whatever, I'm not huge on city destruction because it's like, well, to what end? You know what I mean? Like, you're out here causing more deaths than you're probably preventing in this very moment. But when it comes to the monster movies, kill all the humans. I don't care. Smash everybody. Throw buildings. Pick them up one by one and start eating them. I do not care. All I want is Big Monkey, Big Lizard, Smackdown versus Raw, Shut Your Mouth. Is that a game? Is that a real game? Or was it just Smackdown, Shut Your Mouth? I don't remember. Point is, though, I feel like it's not for me to be honest. There's a very long plot with Kong in the movie that takes up about half of it. And as such, Kong feels more like a focal character than Godzilla does in this movie, which is totally fine because Kong is more of a character than Godzilla is in this universe. But if all you want is kaiju throwing down, you're not going to get a whole lot of it. It's about 1/4 to maybe 30% of the movie. Which, if you're fine with that, if you're fine with, having to be a little bit patient, hey Zoro, if you're fine with that, then that's totally fine. Watch the movie. Watch it at home. If you think that that's going to be a problem for you, if you don't think it's going to be a problem, go see it in the theaters. Support the movie. Support your local... The cat just walked all up in my tripod. Support your local theaters, all that stuff. This movie might be what Warner wanted Tenet to be. This might be the first thing to actually show studios that it's worth putting your movies in theaters right now. Because, like I said, there were a lot of people, so hopefully we'll get somewhere. But the music in this movie is great. The special effects are great, start to finish. The dialogue, not super great. The human characters, not super great. But the monsters doing the monster stuff, loved every second of it. Every single frame was a painting. And overall, I would say that Godzilla vs. Kong is worth buying on Blu-ray, at the very least. But you don't have to. Well, it's not going to be on HBO Max forever. Watch it while it's on HBO Max. Even if you did go see it in theaters, watch it again just because it's Godzilla vs. Kong and it's the first movie we've had of that nature in decades. But beyond that, when it gets an actual home release, buy it on Blu-ray. If you like the Monsterverse, buy it on Blu-ray. That's what I'm going to do. It's been so long since I've had a new movie to review that it just feels like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Godzilla vs. Kong. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever it is, whatever you think of uploading, it community is always more videos from a cool and click somewhere on the screen after I wink at you, and it'll take you somewhere. Or if you want to buy the sticker, you can do that too. See you soon.